Hello and welcome to IndiaPostLive.com, India's first live and interactive news conversation web TV. I'm Prachi Jatanya. The state of Gujarat has a new chief minister and a woman at the helm of affairs. The first woman chief minister for Gujarat in her 70s, Anandiben Patel, has been sworn in today as the chief minister amidst a fanfare of BJP leadership attending the swearing-in ceremony in Ahmedabad. To take us and give us more perspective on how different will Gujarat be led under Anandiben Patel's leadership, we have in the studio Nishit Dholabhai, who is a senior journalist with the Telegraph newspaper, and Mr. Ashok Wankhede, a senior journalist himself. Also joining us from Ahmedabad, Dr. Mayur Joshi, who is the MD of Udgam Trust and also a political analyst, and Mr. Darshan Desai, who is also a senior journalist and has a keen eye of tracking Gujarat politics and giving us his perspective. I'll come to you first, Nishit. What are your first thoughts with Anandiben Patel's leadership? What can the state expect?
The first thing which I can think of is not Anandiben but Narendra Modi.
Okay.
Is that Gujarat is not going to have Narendra Modi. People are so used to him, people are so used to his leadership that the first jolt is going to be felt that it is a change of leadership. After that, part two perhaps is, how Anandiben conducts herself. She's known to be a hard taskmaster. She's been working with Narendra Modi for a long, long time, is being seen as a protege of Narendra Bhai, and she's had covered so many portfolios. I think it's a big challenge ahead for us, for Anandiben, because first of all, there are going to be by-elections.
Yes.
So if 9 seats, she has to win them all. Then slowly will come the governance issues, relations with other ministers.
Right. On that note, we'll play out a video and give you more details on what led to Anandi Bai's choice as final choice as the Chief Minister of Gujarat. It was always a given that she would be the next Chief Minister succeeding Narendra Modi.
The longest-serving Chief Minister of Gujarat hands over the reins to the first woman Chief Minister of Gujarat. Anandiben Patel is a known face in the corridors of power in Gandhinagar. There was little doubt over who would succeed Narendra Modi in Gujarat, as Anandiben was heading the group of ministers who were responsible for running the state's day-to-day affairs during Modi's long absence due to his hectic election campaign. Though Modi has heaped more praise on his trusted Lieutenant Amit Shah, who delivered the all-important state of Uttar Pradesh to the BJP, all eyes will now be on Anandiben Patel and her control on the state in a post-Modi era.
The post-Modi era, Mr. Wankhede, do you think she can fill in the shoes of a personality cult like Narendra Modi's, and does she have to?
No, what my friend had just said, it is next to impossible to have another Modi in Gujarat. Already he has been shifted to Delhi. Now the problem is Modi was a popular figure in Gujarat and also had a unique technique of controlling the bureaucrats in Gujarat. That with the iron grip, he ruled Gujarat. Now that iron grip, Anandi Bai is also known for that. Anandiben is also known for this. Because ultimately she's been promoted, she's been trained, she's been brought to politics, mentored by Narendra Modi. Originally, if you see, the Narendra Modi wanted Anandiben Patel to take on Keshubhai Patel during his, when he was General Secretary in charge. Since then, he's been promoting her, but see the irony that he ultimately himself became the Chief Minister, and then for last 17 years, Anandiben was handling various departments. Now, problem is that the popularity of Anandiben, is she that popular? The way she has shifted her, in last 12 years, she has shifted to 3 constituencies. That shows that some or the other way you are running from one constituency to another constituency.
Right.
That means you are not able to retain your
hold over the
constituency. So that one thing is there. So definitely Gujaratis will be missing Narendra Bhai Modi, and Anandiben. The problem with her is, however better she may prove, but she will always be compared with Narendra Modi.
Right.
So that
fact remains. I'll bring in Dr. Mayur Joshi, who's from the Udgam Trust, joining us from Ahmedabad. He's also a political analyst. Thank you so much, Dr. Joshi, for joining us on the conversation at India Post Live. Your first thoughts, what can the state of Gujarat expect from Anandiben Patel's leadership?
See, like Ashok and Nisit says, hello, do you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, like Ashok and Nisit says, it is a Narendra Modi era and Narendra Modi's legacy. And as we all know, Anandiben is a hard taskmaster. With his nature also, he is very hard. So we are not able to crack her. So it's a dilemma with the people to connect with her. Like anybody can connect with the Narendra Modi, but nobody can, or very limited person can connect with this Mrs. Anandiben Patel. So it is very challenging for her to connect with the people. Don't with even for the officers or something like that, but connect with the people, because as everybody knows about her nature and it's difficult to crack her. She is not easy like a Narendra Modi. So whenever people compare with the Narendra Modi, it's a challenge for Anandiben Patel, not for the people of Gujarat. It's a challenge to make herself comfortable with the people and the office bearers and the
Bureaucrats.
And all bureaucrats.
Right. I'll bring in Darshan Desai at this point. Thank you so much, Mr. Desai, for joining us again. Your thoughts on how will her leadership be perceived and what is the kind of first reactions you're getting? It was a given that Anandiben will succeed Narendra Modi, but what about the business community? What are the reactions you're getting from different sections of Gujarat?
If you ask me who is next best to Narendra Modi in Gujarat, I would say Narendra Modi. If you ask me who is the third best to Narendra Modi in Gujarat, I would say Narendra Modi. I'll keep on doing it 10 times or maybe more. Okay, so it is definitely a huge challenge for Anandiben or any other person to step into Modi's shoes. It is like, as a journalist, it is like somebody says that you step in the place of your editor-in-chief. So it's a huge challenge. The reason for that, the primary reason for that is that Modi had established a direct connect with the people, and that is why he kind of finished all senior leaders of the BJP who could have challenged him. But the main reason is his public connect, and how does Anandiben do it remains to be seen. At the present, it doesn't seem that's going to happen. Okay, and like Mr. Joshi said, that Anandiben is very hard to crack. But I would say Mr. Narendra Modi is much more hard to crack. Okay.
Right.
And that is why he has established his grip over the administration as well as his connect with the people.
Right. I'll just bring in Mr. Wankere. A social arithmetic in terms of caste in Gujarat has been the Patel community being very influential.
Yes, that's
it really takes care of that community's popularity.
Anyway, when Narendra Modi wanted to take on Keshubhai, he tried so many combinations. So Anandiben was one of that. Now Anandiben comes from a Patel community, and I think Leva Patel, if I'm not wrong. They have a very strong character. The women are very strong character women. They are known as Patlani, if he can correct me in Gujarati. And Patlanis are known to rule with iron grip. And knowing this, and what we assume that she doesn't have a public connect, Modi was also knowing this, that this is the problem with Anandiben. So for last 2 years, she is being touring the Gujarat. She is being visiting almost every district headquarter. She is being made to understand people. So knowing Modi well, he had a plan to come to Delhi. So he started grooming. So anyway, when lot many names were floating, I was confirmed. I said no, only Anandiben Patel will be the chief minister. Another thing, she handles most of the portfolios which are developmental portfolios.
Yes.
All big projects are there. And the other thing which is floating inside, you may call it rumor or what people generally talk of, who deals or who license or who try to get the lobbies. They say most of the muscle man's work was given to
Amit Shah.
Amit Shah, and the money power was with Anandiben Patel. So most of the projects were dealt by her. She was the woman who was working for Modi on the instructions of Modi. But definitely, like what Mr. Desai said, from 1 to 10 you will have Modi. Similarly, yesterday we were discussing about the cabinet. There also we came to this thing only. So from cabinet minister, prime minister to the 10th minister, first 10 ministers will be only Modi. So that is Modi's charisma. You can't help it.
Yes. Nishit, don't you then feel that the business community will have all eyes on Anandiben Patel's policy? She comes from the teaching community. She's taken a lot of good initiatives, so to say, in her terms as BJP minister, the longest serving BJP minister in Modi's cabinet. Education policies, literacy for girls. What will be the tasks ahead for her?
I think we need a subtle view at this. We should not forget that Anandiben is a direct appointee of Mr. Narendra Modi. The government is at the center is going to be of the BJP. All the policies of the state are going to be dovetailed, and the other way around to the center's policies. I don't think there is going to be much of a problem because, for one, Mr. Modi becoming the Prime Minister has in any case lifted the morale of the business community. So that the investments which were going to come in, projects which were stopped, stalled, they're all going to go ahead, which was a natural progression. Even before the elections, people knew that if Mr. Modi wins, business is going to prosper. So even at least in the short term.
So it'll be a reflection in
So
Gujarat
it's a reflection
as well.
in the term. I think the bigger challenge perhaps would be to see how Anandiben interacts and is able to tackle her own ministers, her own people. For one, she's not really the great Patel leader. I mean, Keshubai was seen to be a Patel leader, but then you have Nitin Patel, who is also one of the successors to Mr. Modi. But so I think the interaction within the government would perhaps be more interesting to watch than the relations of the business community. I think the business community is pretty apart from the fact that nitty-gritties, little things which traders, business people want at the local level will have to be taken care of. Well, I think by now they've got enough experience in the last 10 or 15 years of how Mr. Modi operated.
Right.
That template is going to be continued.
Great.
And Modi will have a say in Gujarat government. See, major projects will be again cleared by Modi. Modi means I don't think the Anandiben Patel will play off her own. But another thing interesting yesterday, Vidhan Sabha, if you have seen this thing, when Waghela was speaking, he told Anandiben कि just wait for a few hours, अच्छे दिन आपके आने वाले हैं. At the same time, speaker, when he was delivering a lecture, he told Narendra Modi कि भाई दूसरे पटेल जो है उन पे भी थोड़ा आशीर्वाद आप बनाए रखे. So just bless him also. Right. So that tussle was going on between the two Patels, and as he said ki, of course she will not be representative of the Patel community in true sense, but she can be forced on the Patel community that we have a chief minister who is a Patel now.
Darshan, any thoughts on that, on the social arithmetic in the Patel community?
See, first thing, what Modi did was he internalized the Hindu Hriday Samrat scheme, which overrode all caste conflicts and all caste, contradictions. So having done that, once he had internalized that, after that he stopped off development, So and now people don't have to be told that he's a Hindu Hriday Samrat. It has been internalized. So that is one thing. That is one thing which how Anandiben handles remains to be seen. But now that Modi is out, that caste situations will definitely play out, and Patels would definitely feel more empowerment. They are already empowered in Gujarat in all ways. All important educational institutions are with the Patels. All important social organizations are with the Patels. Patels are controlling the industry also. So they are already empowered. So this will give them a much more sense of empowerment that a Patel has been made the chief minister. That's just about it. But as Mr. Wankere said, that Modi will definitely have a say in all policy matters of Gujarat, and he will keep his. I mean, he would keep his vice-like grip over Gujarat Yeah, he would keep that.
Right.
That's what it, even through this rigorous campaign, national campaign, every night he would come back home and hold meetings with the officers and cleared all files. And yesterday when just after he resigned, he says there is not a single file left uncleared. That means that despite his national ambitions, he has maintained his grip over his own corner, his own fiefdom, which he would like to have permanently.
Dr. Mayur Joshi, I'll just want to play the devil's advocate as well. Let's see that you've been speaking about the personality of Anandiben Patel, but as a woman minister, being having held so many different portfolios, being the background that she comes from, she's a teacher. She comes from a very very middle class background. Her family has been farmers, and a very very humble background that Anandiben originates from. Do you think that is what has led her to have this kind of a cover around her, a shield around her, and not made her so approachable, or be able to connect with not just the bureaucracy but also people in general?
No, it is not like that, because I know her family. I met her son, I know her daughter, and I know her husband also. And everybody is very humble kind of personalities. So compared to them, if you can see Anandiben, when she is talking to women, then she is very humble. Or if anybody goes with any work to her, then she is very hard to crack. And if she is very hard with the bureaucracy also, like as she was working as a headmaster, so she always plays a role like a headmaster.
Interesting point there. Interesting point, Mr. Wankhe.
But when we're talking about education, when she
Right.
was handling the education portfolio, there were a lot many charges that she made education costlier, a lot many things were privatized. Miss, this education ministry, when she was handled, I think it was misfired very badly. So then she was shifted.
Right.
But as far as the what Mr. Joshi is saying, I think I spoke to one of the senior bureaucrats. He said, no, we don't kneel down to her. Virtually, we crawl to her. She is that hard taskmaster. So it's a tough time for bureaucracy to deliver. It's a tough time for lobbying and other people. So they will have to shift their all movement to Delhi and get the clearance from Mr. Modi to get the work done in Gujarat.
Then should we then speculate or sort of assume that she'll be only a remote control chief minister? Will she have any say in terms of big projects or having her own agenda, 3-point agenda as the chief minister to take the state's development agenda forward?
I think the confidence of, a remote control comes in when there is a little bit of an insecurity or a lack of confidence. I think Mr. Modi is confident enough of his own power and the kind of mandate which he has got. After that, it's not going to be a difficult task for him to be rest assured that things are being taken care of in Gujarat. Once in a while he'll coordinate. Obviously he's going to be calling, as Darshan Bhai said, that every evening he would reach Gandhinagar and check on his files, check on his officers. He's going to do that as the Prime Minister as well, just as he would be doing perhaps with other states, but all the more with Gujarat. I don't think he will allow, and since you expect this of Mr. Modi that he's going to remote control, he won't do that.
Right.
That he's going to give that kind of autonomy to
A free
Anandiben
hand.
Patel because she is a trusted lieutenant of his.
Right.
So I think he's done. The only thing I think the difference which will be made would be in a certain mechanics which has been set in for a last few years, that the lobbyists would be contacting, either if they have to reach Modi,
PMO
A, B, C, D, now it has to be some other way out.
Right.
So that is going to be the thing. But if you allow me, just one question I had for
course.
Darshan Desai
Yes,
was
please.
that would you feel that Anandiben Patel's entry, and you said that there's not much to do with caste, but do you think that over the last few years, since the exit of Keshubai, the Patels might have felt a little alienated, and bringing back Anandiben would bring in that feeling again, back to the feeling of security to the Patels, who are feeling slighted a bit maybe?
Yeah, that obviously is bound to happen. And even otherwise, if you look at if you analyze Modi's cabinet, most of the important portfolios, most of the important ministries are with the Patel. Anandiben Patel, Nitin Bhai Patel,
Saurabh Patel,
Saurabh Patel. These are all the key ministries of Modi, which Modi projected during his development, on his development agenda or development model, as we call it. So Patels are definitely going to feel much better off than how they felt earlier. So I totally agree with you. And second thing, I also agree with your earlier point that Anandi Ben could be watched, especially for how she deals with her ministers and how she controls the party. That is going to be very very essential because Modi had one biggest advantage of a direct connect with people. So once you have a direct connect with people, then you can afford to be inaccessible, you can afford to be arrogant, or you can afford to decide whom to meet and whom not to meet and when. So Anandiben does not have that advantage of Modi. So that is the biggest challenge, and I totally agree with you on both these points.
Uh, Mr.
And
Desai,
I'm just adding one thing with Mr. Dasha's note. Patels are waiting since 12 years to be in a power as a chief minister. Patels are in every business, we can see in major businesses, handling major businesses of the Gujarat. So they are struggling since last 10 years after Kesu Patel. So now they are happy, maybe most probably I think they are very very happy to be as a Patel chief Gujarat.
right. I also have a question for Darshan Desai. In fact, in terms of the social indicators, the health aspect of young children there, cases of malnutrition, the farmers community, those have been issues that have also been, brought in the spotlight with Narendra Modi in his prime ministerial campaign. A lot of critics, in fact, have pointed to the fact that Gujarat's development agenda is not inclusive of keeping social indicators and taking all kinds of issues along with it. Do you feel this inclusive growth agenda will also be a challenge for Anandiben Patel as a chief minister, or should it be?
I'm sure it would be a challenge. It was a challenge for Modi also, because there was a huge complaint. A lot of people when I went to Gujarat that lands of farmers, fertile lands of farmers are being given away to corporate houses for a song. Like for 1 rupee, you're giving away huge tracts of land. So there is this development dichotomy of Gujarat, and this development dichotomy has not been brought by Modi. This development dichotomy has always been there. As Nishit would agree with me that if you go to the tribal areas, you would see this entire human index in Gujarat is not at all inclusive. I mean, just what I believe is economic growth is not development.
Exactly.
Economic growth is only part of the larger sphere of development. That is not actually, if you scratch the surface, that has not actually happened in Gujarat.
At all. In fact,
This
that's a
is
great
not
point of
That's a great
the human index. Nishit, don't you feel then that is something that Anandiben should not overlook, because she has experience with the portfolios of education, of literacy, of also looking at health at some point, and she has travelled as extensively.
I think a woman chief minister in Gujarat would have a great advantage to take care of the human indices, which in the run up to the campaign, the Congress has been criticizing Gujarat for malnutrition, education for women,
Health.
in on all these indicators. The Congress is criticizing. I think Anandiben Patel has a great opportunity to do that. Two, on the dichotomy which Darshanbhai is talking about. I've travelled through the what is called the Purvi Patti, right from the Panchmals down to the Dangs, which is a tribal area,
Yes.
the entire tribal area which borders Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra. In that entire area, there has been a lot of disillusionment with the policies of Mr. Modi, because they think that it has been made without adequate consultations. One, and two, it is skewed heavily in favor of the corporate sector.
Absolutely. And the tribal welfare, it's non-existent.
So I think now that they have a full majority, No, they can afford to be more accommodative.
Right.
See, Modi had an advantage. There was a UPA government at the center. So whatever problems Modi faced, he bundled them on the name of UPA government, and the central
Absolutely.
government is not cooperating. This time, Anandiben Patel will not have that
Excuse.
reason to excuse to give. Another thing, the organization as BJP and the Sangh, it was very well managed by Modi. The Sangh Karyalaya, which was not suitable for him, he has made sure that the office bearers are back to Nagpur and some new friendly people are coming back and occupying the place. Now, these two things also Anandiben Patel will have to handle, because Modi has an entire India to handle.
Yes.
He has four more states to go for elections.
And a foreign
so many
policy as well.
policies,
And
so
foreign
many things.
policy.
So for PT things, Anandi Patel will not be running between Delhi to Gandhinagar.
Gandhinagar.
In that case, we'll have to see her ability as a leader, how she tames. And another thing, Amit Shah, you can't forget. Amit Shah and Anandiben both are they have divided the Gandhinagar.
Yes.
Half Gandhinagar is with Anandiben, half of the Gandhinagar is Amit Shah. So Amit Shah being busy at center, I don't think he will neglect his Gujarat.
Right.
So we'll have to see how she handles Amit Shah, she handles rest of the Patel ministers, party, Sangh, and rest of the problems which Modi left in the name of the center.
Right. Very interesting point. I'll bring in Dr. Mayur Joshi. What will be your top three expectations from Anandiben Patel as the Chief Minister? Top three issues to address.
Yeah, top issues to be addressed as a women chief minister. She should do the 50% reservation in all Panchayat Raj institutions for the women. Those we are talking about, and Gujarat is always a good initiative, taking all initiatives. So it is primary to they can take a 50% reservation for the women. Second is the crime rate. If women are facing so many issues with the things, so that is the second thing. And third thing is the malnourishment in all over Gujarat. Malnourishment is the biggest issue in the Gujarat. So with the child, and earlier she was also handling the women in child department. So she should look out on this note, women malnourishment issues of the Gujarat.
Right. Great. Darshan, what do you think will be the top three tasks at her hand immediately since the swearing in has already happened just an hour ago?
I think the biggest thing for her is the Human Development Index. You know, if that is done, BJP will be able to make a lot of inroads in several other rural areas and tribal areas. You know, this time it was Modi's impact that some of the new issues got subdued. But now all these issues would now come up. You know, now she will have to address all these issues. Mr. Walkedi also said that all these issues would be a challenge now. You know, and because of Modi and his charisma and his connect and his obviously and his expertise at media height, a lot of these issues, despite Congress raising them, got walked down. But
Right.
now this woman would be Modi was a supernatural phenomenon, but this is now coming to the ground. Real politics comes now, so it depends on how she goes about it.
Great point. Great point. One final comment from you, Nishi.
And
Right.
I'm adding one thing in the Mr. Darshan's comment. Now we can see what is the Gujarat model and how Gujarat model is running over here with the Anandiben Patel.
Interesting, Nishi.
Yeah. I think the first challenge for Anandiben would be to win all the 9 seats. Remember, Amit Shah had a 100% strike rate. She's going to be obviously compared to Amit Shah in Gujarat at least. And Amit Shah is not going to be blamed if there are 2 seats lost in Gujarat, because he is one UP for Mr. Modi.
Right.
2, he will have to tackle the ministers. And third, if she is successful in these 2, she will have enough time to address all the other issues, governance issues, which he wants to.
The fact that Narendra Modi himself spoke yesterday, it was a very emotional moment for Anandiben Patel. Do you feel that he also, sort of gave like a disclaimer that she is known to be a tough taskmaster, an authoritarian figure. We'll have to, those are her weaknesses, or maybe not really her strong points. Do you think he gave sort of
I
a
think
disclaimer?
yes. I think it was a one-line indicator to all his ministers and MLAs who maybe had designs in their minds,
Right.
that please let her work and let's
She's
carry
a
on with the
no-nonsense
record.
person. Right. One final word from you, Mr. Wankhede.
First of all, as he said, the biggest task she will be facing is to handle the ministers, the house.
Do you think
the
she will have
party.
to become slightly more softer,
So
gentle,
more softer,
her personality?
gentle, accommodative, connect to people.
accessible.
She will have to gain some more qualities of
Well-wishers.
Mr. Modi
Yes.
with her. And another thing is that Modi had one peculiar quality in him, that he would talk anything and make it believe, whether it is there or not.
Right.
That art, if she learns, she can be another Modi.
Great. Art of convincing people. Ending on a great note, we can take forward this conversation. All of you can participate and join in. Our viewers, use our Twitter handle @IndiaPostLive and post your comments on our website IndiaPostLive.com and our Facebook page. Thank you all our guests, Dr. Mayur Joshi, Mr. Darshan Desai joining us from Ahmedabad, also Mr. Ashok Wanghere and Mr. Nishit Dholabai joining us, giving their perspective and insight on what to expect from the first female Chief Minister of Gujarat. A tough task ahead for her. Will she be able to break that image of being an authoritative leader, or will she use that to her advantage? Let's wait and watch. Thank you so much. Do stay tuned to IndiaPostLive.com.